The Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday afternoon. We are here. Well, it's Saturday afternoon as we're recording this, but we're here Wednesday afternoon on your lunch break. This is the Animated Anarchy series, the Animated Showdown, episode 8. I am, of course, your host, Dutchy, joined by the last time for a month. I don't know what we're going to do without him, except for have a good time. Eric is here.
What's up? MoneyE.
Yeah. Woo! All right. Joined as always also by Shawn.
Hello.
And of course our wild card Dave.
How y'all doing?
Oh, he changed it. I was going to mimic him and say, let's get it.
Yeah.
But he changed it on me.
See, I'm unpredictable, dog. You never know.
Ain't that the truth? All right, so today's matches in the Animated Anarchy series are BLUEY versus Paw Patrol, Ren and Stimpy versus Beavis and Butthead, Fairy Tale versus BRAVESTARR, and the main event is Rocket Power versus Tiny Toon Adventures. Now, same formula that we've always been following. We're going to draw 5 categories from the randomizer. Those are the 5 categories we're going to do for the episode. If a show gets a 3-0 win, 30 points, 3-1, 20 points, 3-2, 10 points, 5 points for the loser. If you are swept, you are going to lose 10 points. Now, of course, this is everybody's there, all these shows. First matchup here in the Animated Anarchy series, you're going to have 15 of them plus playoffs. So without any further ado, let's go ahead. Let's head to the randomizer and see what they are going to deal us today. Anybody hoping for anything specific when it comes to these particular programs?
I want character development. I want animation. I want voice acting. I want
Theme song.
theme song you can put in there if you really want to. Overall enjoyment. I like that one because you know it's what we enjoy more.
We haven't had that in a while.
That's a good one to have, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I prefer not merchandise.
All right, here we go. Dave, I'll give you 1.
No, you gave me 2.
Well, what was the other one you said?
Character development.
Well, that's I thought that was the only one. What are the
Animation.
2 you want? Oh, animation. Well, 2 out of 5 isn't it's kind of bad, but all right. So we have animation style, merchandise, character development, memorable moments, and fan base. Some of these may not go that long.
Probably not.
All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to start with the first matchup, which is BLUEY versus Paw Patrol.
Interesting matchup.
Yeah. 2 kids shows. And BLUEY in the division of Bobby Lovewell. Paw Patrol in the division of my mother, Sue Hummer. This is her last show that has to have its first matchup. So we'll see how it does. Animation style is the first category. BLUEY is Disney. Paw Patrol was Nickelodeon or Nick Jr. as it may be.
Funny
So
that we started with animation in the last one too.
yeah. All right. As far as animation, who did it better, Dave?
I'm gonna go with Paw Patrol here. Just because they had the 3D animation style. BLUEY only had the 2D animation style. So just for that alone, I'm gonna go with Paw Patrol.
Okay. All right, Eric.
I'm going Bluey. I thought that it was. I just liked it a little better.
All right. Not even 5 minutes into the show, the first category of the first battle. Guess what Shawn is doing?
This is a hard one because I like both of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you also have kids that probably watch both, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But I got to give it to Paw Patrol. Their animation is slightly better. Like Dave said, it's more 3D, and then Bluey's 2D. And there's just, I think for what they have to do, like they're flying around and somewhat of their battle scenes or like they're fighting a fire or something, just all the attention to the detail in Paw Patrol is a lot better.
Right. All right. Paw Patrol's up 1-0. Next category is merch. By the way, the first two categories that started the last episode too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Wait,
I think the randomizer's getting lazy.
what's the third one again? For this one?
Character development. So, all right, merchandise. Both shows have a lot of merchandise because it's geared towards little kids. Kids. Shawn has kids, that age. Dave has a youngster that's around 5 years old. So it's geared toward, both shows have merchandise geared towards kids of that age bracket. But who had the better merchandise, Eric?
I'm gonna go with Paw Patrol. I think it's probably the more popular one. So I think they probably sold more toys and all that and shirts, and I think they had shirts.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
They have everything.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with Paw Patrol here. I think it's because it had a head start. It came out, I think, in 2013, where Bluey's more newer. So Paw Patrol's had more time to have high merchandise sales, where Bluey it has a rapid momentum going up, but at current state, I think Paw Patrol has it.
Okay. All right, Shawn.
Yeah, I was also going to go with Paw Patrol. They had the longevity behind it, and I think it's just it's drawn to like every gender of the kid.
Yeah.
Bluey, I guess, is like, I mean, my boys watch it, I watch it, but it's a female character, main character, and so is her little sister. Like, it's kind of geared towards a little girl.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is also probably, it could be bigger in Australia because it's Australian based. So, I mean, it might be more popular over there than Paw Patrol, but in America, I would say Paw Patrol is a lot more popular.
All righty. All right. Paw Patrol's up 2-0. One more, they get a sweep. Character development. It's very hard. Now, here's the thing. Paw Patrol went the standard half hour, or it's 20 minutes on Paramount Plus. Bluey's episodes on Disney Plus are only like 10, 11 minutes.
Yep.
Hard to really have character development when you're basically just like a 20-minute show.
Understandable.
But who had better character development there, Shawn?
I'm going with Bluey on this one. I think just from the growth of whatever episode she may be in with her sister Bingo or her parents, I think there's just more development there because it's a family-oriented show too.
Yeah.
And, it deals with like everyday life as a kid and a parent. Is that like, there's an episode where their father's going away and they don't want to leave him because he's going to be gone for 6 months and they don't want him to go. And it goes from Bingo being sad that he's leaving to happy because of, he still gets to see him throughout that 6 months. And I think Paw Patrol is just, there's not much of a character development because of the style they go with, kind of like the superhero style.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one-dimensional.
So
I
it's,
believe.
yeah. But I mean, sometimes there are like, mainly in the Paw Patrol movies, I think they have better character development than they do in their shows.
All right.
But I got to stick with Bluey.
Alrighty. Eric, we're going to you.
I'm going Bluey. I just thought there was more of a story, especially with the characters, the mom, the dad. Well,
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with Bluey. Paw Patrol really doesn't focus on, emotional consequences or anything. They mostly focus on a problem and how to solve it. Bluey, it shows more emotional and more relationship type roles, which, are more life lessons. So I'm going with their character development here just because it's more significant.
Alrighty. All
They
right.
also develop other characters outside of the family too, like out of the main four in Bluey. So,
Okay. All right. So Bluey's not going to get swept. It's 2-1. We move on to memorable moments. Paw Patrol can still win it here. Both shows, I mean, they had very cute moments because, again, it's geared towards little kids.
Mhm.
But whose moments were more memorable, Eric?
hold on. Let me check.
You're a putz.
I think Paw Patrol.
Okay.
I just thought there was more moments that stuck out.
Okay. Dave.
I'm going the opposite way here. I'm going Bluey. I think it's more memorable, not just for the children, but for adults too. Like Shawn was saying, it's more relatable stories about family life. Paw Patrol's more like action oriented and whatnot. It's a show designed to sell merchandise.
Yeah.
Bluey's more like, family oriented, I believe. So I think the moments between the characters on that show were more memorable.
mhm.
All right. Shawn, you're breaking a tie, and you have the decision whether or not whether or not this goes a full 5, or whether or not Paw Patrol just gets it here. And the decision is what?
I got to stick with Bluey. I like Dave said, since it's like a family-oriented show, it's the moments they have between family members are just like outside of family, like while they're at school or something with other kids. It's just more relatable to me, so I guess it makes me remember them more.
Gotcha.
Not as much remember, but more of like relate than
Okay.
Paw Patrol can.
Makes sense.
I mean, I guess the only memorable moment I would assume from Paw Patrol is what me and Dave were talking about before the show was Mayor Humdinger. I don't know how to, Humdinger. And how his cats are smarter than he is. But that's about it.
All right. Tied 2-2. Again, third week in a row that the first match on this show is going the full 5. So, all right, fan base. Whose fan base was bigger? It's hard for me to pick because I think they both have the same fan base.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So let's try to decipher this. And Shawn, I'm starting with you.
I'm going to say Paw Patrol. I think Paw Patrol's fan base is a lot bigger than... It's hard to say that, though, because like Bluey is so popular now.
And it's getting more popular
And it's
with
just
time.
gaining more popularity.
It is.
I think it had the same type of
But
fans.
Paw Patrol also had a head start.
Yeah. You
And
know what,
it's still
I'm
popular.
changing mine. I'm going with
I already
Bluey.
wrote it.
Yeah, that sucks. Viewers just know I actually should be going with Bluey. No, I'm okay with it. You could stick with Paw Patrol. They're so tight. It's so, either
Yeah.
or.
Yeah. As soon as it gets written down, it's official.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. Paw Patrol is pretty massive.
yeah.
I mean, just it's hard because they're just as equal to each other, I think.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that it's the same, it's kind of the same show, just different networks.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Dave, you're up.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go Bluey here. I think because I'm gonna bring another category into this, because I think it relates. I think this show's gonna have a much more massive cultural impact than Paw Patrol will. And the fans seem to be more engaged with the show's content and stuff. So I think that creates for more impact with the viewers. So I feel like this show's on the rise, and I'm going based off, like, I'm putting the two categories kind of together,
Okay.
because like when you look at Paw Patrol, you're kind of going off of numbers of merch and stuff to see where their fan base is too, which they do have higher merch sales, but they also started earlier. So, but Bluey's got such a huge attraction so quick, and people resonate with what they're doing so much. I think it's going to have a bigger output.
All right.
There also are Bluey episodes that aren't aired in America. I don't remember the exact reason why, but there are episodes of Bluey that can't be aired in America.
Gotcha. And by the way, do you think that maybe it had, like, more people resonating with Bluey? The fact that Bluey is shorter, as in like Paw Patrol, like the episodes are longer, especially like if you watch them on Paramount.
Yeah.
And the episodes on Disney Plus for Bluey aren't really that long. It's like 9 minutes and then you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be, little kids are going to resonate more towards those because little kids have a short attention span.
Exactly. But it's so relatable too, even as
Well,
an
I'm
adult.
not saying it's not relatable. I'm just saying is that, like, that's another factor, is like short attention span.
Yeah.
It's a shorter show.
Oh no, you're nail on the head.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, it is relatable. I mean, Paw Patrol is not necessarily relatable because it's basically, this is the Suicide, or not this is basically the Avengers with pets.
Yeah. The Justice League.
Yeah. Or whatever.
The one thing that I don't understand about Paw Patrol is, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't ever remember them explaining how Ryder became a trillionaire that can afford all this futuristic stuff.
I watched the pilot episode earlier. I don't have a clue.
Like, I don't think they ever explain. He's just some solo dolo rich miner. Where's his parents? Like,
yeah.
Everybody else has parents in the show. Where are yours?
Yeah. All right, Eric, you're breaking the tie here. You're going to decide who wins this thing.
Bluey. I just think it's more of a cultural impact, as David said. He swayed me again.
Yeah. Well, because it has now, again, Paw Patrol has been on longer, so they have a head start, and the cultural it's still being, the fan base is still there, but because Bluey is also still, I mean, they have fruit snacks at the grocery store, for crying out loud.
Yep, and I think their stuff's only going to grow.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, by the way, Paw Patrol does too, but Bluey, you can get a box of 20. Paw Patrol only comes in 10, and I like the bigger. I like the bigger family size pack.
Yeah, I like more too. Oh, hey, Eric, this is for you. This is me flipping you like a burger, bro.
Okay.
That could have been taken so many different ways. All right,
You were like shanking them.
Yeah.
No.
So, all right. Bluey wins this 3-2. So, Bluey gets 10 points. Paw Patrol gets 5. So, both shows still get points out of here. This one, I don't know if it's going to be as close. Ren and Stimpy versus Beavis and Butthead. Ren and Stimpy in the division of Ryan Barber. Beavis and Butthead in the division of Shawn's mother, Bonnie Fedcheck. Don't let that sway you, Shawn.
Oh, I won't.
Yeah. By the way, one of your mother's shows already did get swept in this thing already, too. So, Flintstone Kids already lost 10 points. But, all right, Ren and Stimpy versus Beavis and Butthead, animation style. I've said it for months. Nickelodeon has the best animation. Nickelodeon and MTV kind of co-created, Ren and Stimpy. But, Ren and Stimpy is one of the original Nicktoons. Nickelodeon, I will always say, has the best animation. Beavis and Butthead with an MTV animation. I don't want to sway anybody. So, Eric, because you went with the hand gestures again, you're going first.
I'm going Ren and Stimpy because I thought it was a little cleaner. I thought Beavis and Butthead were more. It was just to me.
All right.
They look like stick figures.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with Ren and Stimpy here. The animation quality is way better. It's superior. Beavis and Butthead's, animation was more crude and limited, I believe.
Okay. Shawn?
Sweep it. Ren and Stimpy. I think Beavis and Butthead, like in the earlier parts of the show, it looked more like outline wavy.
Yeah.
Almost like a static type of thing. It was just not enjoyable.
Right.
But Ren and Stimpy is just a lot smoother and cleaner, and all around just better.
All righty. Ren and Stimpy wins the category. They're 2 away from a sweep. Merch is the next category. Ren and Stimpy. Well, both shows actually had a lot of merch, as in like T-shirts and stuff like that. Ren and Stimpy also had action figures. And, they have the Funko Pops, and they have, all this retro merchandise. I'm sure they had bed sheets and, stuff like that. And all, because Nickelodeon had all, there's Ren and Stimpy socks out there. I don't own a pair yet. I'm still thinking about it. I'm going to buy Eric a Ren and Stimpy thong for Christmas.
Didn't Beavis and Butthead have like a box office thing? Like a theatrical success? Didn't they do something like that?
They had a movie. I don't know if it was a theatrical success.
I think it did pretty
They
well.
have a quote phone.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Which we'll get to. If we get the fan base, we'll get to that. But as far as merchandise, Dave, who did it better?
Oh, this one's hard for me. This is my toss-up one. But I actually have Beavis and Butthead taking this one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. Shawn?
Same. I think Beavis and Butthead slightly takes the cake on this one. And like Dave said, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't say.
They have
I've seen a lot more Ren and
following.
Stimpy merchandise than I've seen, Beavis and Butthead. But
I just think it was one of those really different shows that just drew
certain
certain demographic, and it just stuck. I don't hate anybody that says the show was good. Good for you.
Well, again, but we're on the merch category though. The way you're talking, you're talking more about like the fan base.
No, I'm like
different
like
categories.
t-shirts and stuff. Like I just think they had the better t-shirts and more
From
captivating
what
to wear a
from
Beavis and Butthead shirt. Than
yeah, from what I read, they had the higher commercial success as well
Okay.
so far.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I'm going Beavis and Butthead too. I just feel they probably sold more merch. I don't want to say because I just think they sold more T-shirts and more. I just think I seen more.
Well, because I
of that.
think, like these guys are saying, they had more of a cult following, and when you have more of a cult following, more people are going to buy your stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like with
Yeah, I
Nickel,
don't want to say that because it's part of the fan base. So
yeah. But look at you trying to follow rules for once. All right, character development is next. 1-1. So we're at a tie here. Character development. Not a lot of character development in Beavis and Butthead when the episodes are only like 10, 15 minutes. And most of that time is used to watch a music video.
do we even need to ask?
Huh?
I mean, do we even need to ask? I think this is pretty much.
Ren and Stimpy was more episodic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even though because they did follow and plus the character development, they develop from like the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
The only thing Beavis and Butthead could develop in an episode was the case of the Munchies.
Yep.
So, all right, Dave, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going Ren and Stimpy here. I just didn't really. There's not a lot of growth in either show, but since Ren and Stimpy is more episodic, they have more room to grow with their characters.
Right. Okay. Eric?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. I didn't think there was much character development in either, but as Dave alluded to, I think there's room for growth in Ren and Stimpy. I think there's more story. There's more of a story there.
Gotcha. Shawn?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
All right. Up next is memorable moments. Ren and Stimpy can win it here if they take this category. Did Beavis and Butthead even really have memorable moments? Because you have the first 3 minutes is them doing something stupid, and then like the next 8 minutes is them watching music videos.
You
I
mean
can
doing
say-
something else stupid?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I mean,
their
there's one
most
episode.
memorable moment would be like how boring it got.
Yeah.
I mean, not to sound biased against the show or anything, but
Yeah, since it is your mother's
like,
show.
I guess you could say there's bad memorable moments.
But, all right, Eric, let's start with you.
That stuck out. For
That
me,
means so.
I'm going Beavis, but it was because of bad memorable moments. I thought one episode. I
So
watched
because
where-
their moments were worse, you're going Beavis and Butthead.
that, from
Right
what I
down.
remember,
So, all right. So because Beavis and Butthead's moments sucked, you're picking that to win the category. Make it make sense.
He's trying to say like it was so bad that I remember that moment more than I
Yeah.
can remember Ren and Stimpy. Like I understand where
I
what he's
understand.
saying.
I mean, thank God you're going on vacation for a month because I'm ready to fire you right now. Because that's a bad. Like
what
that's,
if, what
that's
if it's
bad.
a memorable moment? Like he's talking like the show was so bad that's what keeps the show's memory alive between discussions with people. Like, oh, I remember how bad that show was. Do you remember? And then you come into it. You could mean something like that. I don't justify it.
Yeah. No.
But still.
Come on, Eric. Come on, Eric. Defend it. Come on.
Defend Eric.
Don't just stand there and have a blank stare at the camera. Defend, because as far as I'm concerned, that's a horrible take, but defend it.
Like that. Yeah, that was horrible.
Come on, Eric. Let's go. Come on.
I can't.
You have to be able to defend the bad opinions on this show.
It just stuck out more to me.
All right. Anybody got good content for this category?
I'm picking Ren and Stimpy. I wasn't like big into the show, but like, I don't know, it's just the dynamic of the characters is better. And what else did where did I find it? I just had it freaking written down on here. But yeah, the character development between the two, I think, just made more memorable moments than the boringness of Beavis and Butthead doing the same thing over and over and over. Like, their episodes weren't, I can't say relatable, but it's just kind of repetitive, you know, like in Beavis and Butthead. But when Ren and Stimpy, it was always something slightly different. And I think it just led to more memorable moments for them.
Okay. That's how you make an explanation. Dave, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going with Ren and Stimpy. I remember like when he has space madness, when Ren suffers from like cabin fever during a space voyage and has like a complete mental breakdown. When his moronic cousin pushes him to the brink of sanity, that was pretty memorable. I think the cousin's name was Sven. Yeah, it just had more episodes that popped out to me than Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead more annoyed me than anything.
Right.
That was like a show for people that ate shrooms on the daily.
Well, yeah, it's exactly.
like there was nothing about that show that's. I mean, I guess it is a kind of a generational, like it had a generational impact. But for the topics that we're talking about, I don't think it can even stand close to Ren and Stimpy in any of these categories.
Well, I mean, it won one.
Yeah, it won one.
Yeah.
And you voted on it for that one too. So.
That's true. For merch, but that's not saying much about the rest of it, you know?
Yeah, just because the show, it does good.
You had decent apparel for people that like the show, but it was like,
yeah,
says a lot about you if you like that show as a diehard, I guess. But whatever, people like what people like.
Yeah. All right. So up next,
this one's a hard one.
They win 3-1. I'm trying to calm down now because he just got me like completely fired up.
Woosah, remember your pressure points.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's even still there. He took himself off camera.
So we have what? Bluey won, correct?
Yeah, Bluey won.
Yep.
So I forgot to label it. That's why I asked. I didn't want to mark.
They won 3-2.
Okay. No, I have it on a sheet and I like to put W or L, you know.
Yeah.
And I just forgot.
All right. Up next, we have Fairy Tale and BRAVESTARR. So I got to look. I keep forgetting who has Fairy Tale in their division.
Hey, was BRAVESTARR also a movie?
I think I can't remember if they had an animated movie or not.
Okay.
Let's see. Where the fuck is Fairy Tail?
Oh yeah, the BRAVESTARR the movie, 1988.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They had a 2016 version of The Tick.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just now seeing it. Like, it just appeared because I searched The Tick.
Yeah.
Because what I do every show is I take the shows and I Google search them to bring up their, like, you know, everything about them, just in case I forget.
Right. All right. Fairy Tail in the division of Joshua Allen. BRAVESTARR in the division of Shawn Stranahan. Animation quality. BRAVESTARR is another one of those Filmation shows.
Mm-hmm.
The Filmation animation. Fairy Tail was an anime. Welcome back, Eric. Now he's ignoring me. So, all right. Fairy Tail and BRAVESTARR, whose animation was better? Eric, I'm starting with you.
Fairy Tail. I just thought it was cleaner and more detail.
Okay. Not to keep harping on it, but that's how you give an explanation. But you definitely need to go on vacation. All right. Shawn?
Yeah, I gotta give it to Fairy Tail. The animation was just a lot better. The designs of the characters are a lot cleaner. Granted, you know, it is an anime coming off of this, you know, of what BRAVESTARR's animation is, so it's not hard to compare it because BRAVESTARR isn't bad. It's just, you know, it's just one of those 90s or 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
And it just can't.
It can't really compare to what.
It can't compare to an anime of up-to-date graphics.
Yeah.
So.
That's why, like, when I did all these first sets of matches, I should have realized it's like you can't really, you know, compare the two.
Mm-hmm. Now, the cover art for BRAVESTARR, like, their cover arts are awesome, but their physical, like, animation of the show is just, it was good for the time, but it was kind of the same as everything back then. Maybe just slightly cleaner than, like, I would say, like, Spider-Man animation and stuff, but it can't hold up. So.
Yeah, right. Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with these guys. I'm going to have to go Fairy Tail. I mean, they had a bigger budget, more tech advantages and capabilities to produce something that's cleaner and flashier and, you know, more crisp. So I got to go with Fairy Tail here.
All right. They're up 1-0. Merchandise is the next category. BRAVESTARR did have action figures that are very valuable. By the way, just figured I'd throw that out there. They did have merch back in the day. Fairy Tail, obviously, I'm sure, has more updated merchandise. So, Shawn, we're starting with you.
That's a hard one, man. I'm going to stick with Fairy Tail on this one.
Okay.
I think they just have more of a vast majority of merchandise than BRAVESTARR has.
Yeah, because like I said, BRAVESTARR had action figures, but I don't know much else of what they had.
Right. And
I do know their action figures go for a lot of money today.
Yep.
That's good, though. So, but I just think in a vast majority of like what they have to offer, Fairy Tail has a lot more to offer merchandise-wise than BRAVESTARR would.
Well, yeah, because you can name it more off. You know, you can name more of it off than you can BRAVESTARR. Like BRAVESTARR, I know they have action figures, but that's all I know.
Right. And I don't want to just base it off of like, oh, you know, all they had was action figures and they're at a certain price range now. But
yeah. I mean, again, but that like I would say, like if I were picking, BRAVESTARR would probably be because again, I go by the valuable merchandise.
Right. I'm trying to go off of like availability, I guess.
Well, yeah, no,
Right, keep it different.
that's a good way to look at it. Dave, I'm going to you.
Yeah, I'm actually going BRAVESTARR here because, I looked at their action figures. Some of them are going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like crazy
I tried to
amounts.
bid on one on an auction site like a couple months back, and it went for over 150. I think it actually hit 200.
Yeah, like if you look in eBay and stuff, you'll see them go from you'll see ones that are like $56, but that's like the cheapest. 45 is the cheapest you're gonna find. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's going up to like 300, 450, and in between that 45 and 500 range. So just because of that and how, it's hard. Like Fairy Tale does have a huge global enterprise with its sales, yes, but like you said, it's cheap. It's cheap and easily to get, right, Shawn? So I think because this is harder to get and it costs more, I'm going with this.
All right. By the way, when I said how I judge a category, I did not necessarily mean that somebody had to follow that.
No, I'm only doing it because it's so much. Like if it was only like a
that makes sense.
$30, if it was like a $30 or $50 action figures, and that's all, like I wasn't seeing like $450 ones and stuff that are all packaged up, crisp, clean, then I would say Fairy Tale just based on the global sales. But because this is so hard to achieve and to have, and it's from the 80s, to have something in that mint condition from the 80s is pretty rare.
And by the way, people are buying it.
Yeah, exactly.
You do have an audience out there that likes to collect old action figures.
Yeah, you wouldn't mark something for $450 if no one wants to buy it.
Yeah.
I have to keep that in mind for the next time this category pops up.
Yeah, which will be the next matchup.
If Fairy Tale sold as much as like One Piece or something, I would pick Fairy Tale. But One Piece was like record-breaking sales for an anime, so that's why I would pick that, because it was record-breaking. It is doing its own thing, where Fairy Tale is not at that range. It has high sales, but not as much. It's in that mid-range ballpark for animes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, and that's like the thing, because when we get to because there's going to be certain, like next week, we're going to have, I think it's Batman and Yu-Gi-Oh! And if we get this category for that battle, that's going to be hard because both shows have sold a lot of merch. But Batman's especially their action figures, you can get their action figures for cheap. It just depends. But all right, Eric, the man in the dark. Okay.
I have to turn on my light. Just look on eBay. I just saw something that's going for over $2,000.
What?
On eBay.
2,000?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
2,200.
Now, by the way, just because they're selling it for that doesn't because sometimes you could possibly find a collector that needs something that bad to where they are willing to dish out that kind of dough.
Yeah, it's from 1986.
Yeah.
Crazy rare, it says.
$2,200.
Even from like retail. From like a store, I'm seeing it go for less than 50.
Yeah. So,
and that's not some of these like extraordinary figures. Like some of these are saying that are like 300 to 500 in retail stores. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, we found a category that BRAVESTARR excelled in over Fairy Tale. Character development. Now, the funny thing is that even like the Filmation shows, there is character development in BRAVESTARR.
The moral lessons and stuff like that.
Moral lessons, character development. Like a character can start off characters really do develop in that show.
I do like how
because-
I like how for a cartoon they actually gave the characters a background.
Yeah,
That because like that's more of like an anime thing. So like I was really surprised to see a show from the 80s have like that where it's like here's the background to these characters.
yeah. Well, some of these cartoons, like BRAVESTARR, I think was kind of groundbreaking because it's just like, all right, it's a sheriff from like the Wild West town, but he really goes into kind of like supernatural type stuff too.
Mhm.
So Dave, I'm actually going to start with you on this one.
This one was tough for me, because you know they both do have character development, but I feel like Fairy Tail has more character development. I mean, it's a long running anime with hundreds of episodes
Yeah.
exploring its large cast, and each of these characters has their own backstory, has their own motivations and their growth. So it's so many characters that you're seeing growth in it, not just like with their abilities to use on the battlefield, but emotional and things that they're going through. So I think it's very extensive in Fairy Tail with their growth, and so I have to put it there, my vote there.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Shawn, you're up.
Yeah, I think Fairy Tail has it simply alone because of how many characters they got and the majority or vast different styles of characters they have.
Yeah.
And the longevity of the show definitely helps it with developing certain characters. And their voice acting too. I think voice acting has a big thing on character development.
Right. No, I agree with that. Eric.
Fairy Tail. I thought the stories were better, and I saw more development in this episode that I watched.
Alrighty. All right. Fairy Tail's up 2-1. They can win the matchup here with memorable moments. My blood pressure has gone down significantly since the Beavis and Butthead battle. Eric's last episode, he's still trying to give me a heart attack.
Sorry.
Yeah. All good. All good. Just work on your defending your points. Practice in front of a mirror in your relative's house in Australia.
Yeah, that one I wasn't ready. Yeah, I wasn't.
Well, I could
ready.
tell you weren't ready. Like you're staring at the screen. You're like, wait a minute, he's actually going to make me defend this. And then
I shouldn't have said that.
yeah. And just the way you're staring, it's just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And next time, do what you're told and defend your point. But anyway, all right. So we are moving on to memorable moments. Both shows had their fair share of memorable moments, especially because in BRAVESTARR, you can learn some life lessons. Because 80s cartoons did kind of, it was very rare, but like in 80s cartoons like this, they did kind of, what the hell's the word? Like delve into deep issues. But, you know, Fairy Tail had its share of memorable moments. Eric, I'm starting with you.
I'm going with Fairy Tail. From the episodes I watched, it just stuck out more, and I enjoyed it more.
Okay.
The story arc of was episode 6 and 7 I watched, or 5 and 6, whichever episode I watched. They were trying to save the guy that one of their enemies that got hurt, and then they were trying to get past something. But I thought this, and then it had to be continued, so it was more of there's more story to it.
All righty.
The episode I watched.
All right,
I was
Shawn,
more
I'm going to
into,
you next.
No, I agree with Eric with Fairy Tail. I think just the longevity of how long the show is or how many episodes it has just allows it to create so many more memorable moments than BRAVESTARR could have.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Dave.
I'm going with Fairy Tail. I think its battles are super memorable, like Ezra versus the 100 Monsters. where she displays overwhelming power against 100 strong monsters. It's a very defining, iconic scene. When the battle with Laxus, he uses like electric powers, and he's like, it's the battle of Fairy Tale, basically. And so their little group is trying to, combat him and stop his plan. And then when Lucy summons the Celestial Spirit King, that's pretty crazy. So there's a lot of different points in this anime that really stand out.
All right. Fairy Tale wins this 3-1. They're going to get 20 points. BRAVESTARR gets none. Main event time. Rocket Power in the division of Tim Friel versus Tiny Toon Adventures in the division of Joshua Kagavan, Dave's second cousin. So, Dave, this is so another one of your relatives gets a main event slot this week. We'll see how well it works out for him. Animation style is the first category. You have Nickelodeon animation, which I keep saying has the best animation, and you have Tiny Toon Adventures, which is Warner Brothers animation. So who did it better? And Shawn, I'm starting with you.
Oh man, animation. I got to give it to Tiny Toon Adventures. I think their attention to detail. Sorry for the children getting yelled at, but I think there's more attention to the detail in Tiny Toon Adventures than there was in the Rocket Power. Rocket Power at times still kind of felt blotchy, but Tiny Toon Adventures kind of was solid all throughout. So.
Yeah. Tell Danielle she needs to put on like Bluey or Paw Patrol or something. Get them calm down.
She needs to calm down. That's what it is. I'm not saying that any louder.
No comment. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I'll have my wife text yours and let her know you made that comment. I'm just playing, Shawn. I'm playing.
All right.
Never sell out of bro. We live by code.
It's like the biggest betrayal you could do.
Dave, I'm going to you next.
I'm going with Tiny Toon Adventures here. I thought it had better, more fluid animation. I think it had really high quality movement. To give you that really look and feel of the classic Looney Tunes. I just thought it was more vibrant and dynamic as well. So I'm going with the Tiny Toon Adventures here.
All right. Eric?
I like both animation, but Tiny Toons was a little more detailed and cleaner.
Oh, yeah. And Tiny Toons also had a bigger budget for its animation.
Yeah. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. I mean, Warner Brothers is kind of bigger than Nickelodeon, I guess.
Kinda. Nickelodeon Studios is a building. Warner Brothers has like a whole island, whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Warner Brothers, has a far more reach than Nickelodeon. And Nickelodeon, it's not. I'm not dogging on it. I'm just saying is that like if you compare the two, that's like comparing gourmet ham to tuna fish.
Listen, Warner Brothers has multiple water towers that they purposely destroy in some of their shows.
Yeah.
And they just rebuild it.
All right. Now, apparently this is apparently becoming our favorite category to do because we've had to do it so much over the last couple of... Dave, I'm being sarcastic. Don't worry about that. Shake your head at me. Merchandise. Now, the funny thing is that, both shows have merchandise and the T-shirts and the bed sheets and, party supplies, and all that, and like but like with Tiny Toons, Tiny Toons back in the day had a lot of VHS sales because they were part of that generation that like you would have episodes that would or like specials that would go on like a VHS tape and people would either rent it or they would buy it. I remember going to Blockbuster a lot when I was younger and always renting like any of the Tiny Toon tapes. And also too, Tiny Toons when they had the McDonald's toys. You know, those are also McDonald's toys can be very valuable too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
look at the Pokemon cards that go on McDonald's meals. You got grown adults buying kids meals just to get those.
I remember back in the day we had while they had the Tiny Toons like car because the Tiny Toons toys that were in McDonald's, they were like the reversible cars, like you had the car and then like you could flip it up and it flips the character.
Yeah.
And there was like 5 of them, like 5 or 6 of them, and I wanted all 6, and I think I got like 5. Because like when we went like the next week to get like the last one, they gave me the same one, and I remember my mom was just like, "Can he have the one he doesn't have?" And they're like, "Oh, we just randomize it," and I threw a fit because as a little kid, I was anyway.
Customer's always right. They should have gave you that toy.
They didn't. Eric, I'm starting with you.
I'm going Tiny Toons. It's more well known, and I think they just sold more merch. But it's probably not to say Rock Power didn't sell anything. Just that Tiny Toons is more tiny.
Right. All right, Shawn, we'll go to you.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Tiny Toons here. I think a big help on them is their relation to, like, you know, Bugs Bunny and stuff.
Yeah, the relation to Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Looney Tunes. Yeah. Rocket Power was, I mean, they had some stuff, but they weren't really big in the merchandise game as you would think. Like, not as big as Tiny Toons was.
No.
So.
All right, Dave finishes off in the category.
Yeah, it's got to be Tiny Toons. I mean, with the infrastructure of the Warner Bros., I mean, they really had a massive marketing, you know, so it's really hard to compete with that, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. All right, Tiny Toons is up 2-0. Next, they can win it with the next category, but the next category is character development. And we've talked multiple times because Rocket Power did very well in the Cartoon Classic. Yep. So we've talked about like the characters and the development. It's not that Tiny Toons didn't have that. They both did. But who had it better? Shawn, I feel like we should start with you because Rocket Power is one of your favorite shows.
Yeah,
and you have been unbiased because you have picked Tiny Toons for the last couple of categories.
Oh, it's hard. I feel like Rocket Power has some character development in it, but
can I cut him off?
Go for it.
See, I feel like Tiny Toons is more of a character-driven, gag-focused comedy series that doesn't really have character development like that. Unlike
it has very little.
It's very limited. I feel like Rocket Power has significant better character development.
Well, I know where you're going.
That's just my opinion.
I mean, they
focus on realistic conflicts.
Yeah,
and that lead to growth. You know,
like
so
the everyday childhood, you know, growing up lifestyle. Like you have the development between like Otto and his sister and Otto and his dad. Like, but some of the episodes, if I can bring this up, of like there's an episode where they sneak out at night, breaking the rules of the house to go play a game of night hockey.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got other ones where Otto is kind of a D-bag, but then slowly comes around, or like how the first episode they meet Squid, or Sam, or whatever his name is, and they're kind of just picking on him and then not really knowing if he's going to be their friend to the end of the episode where he plays amazing at hockey, so he immediately is their best friend.
Yeah.
So, you know, it shows like kind of like a judgmental character development processing into a more reasonable, everyday, understandable character that you can relate to.
All right, so are you going Rocket Power?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I said my bad.
No, it's all good, and because I kind of figured, I actually believe that Rocket Power is stronger in the character development category.
Well, especially just the father, like the growth you see in him becoming like a single father of the kids.
And Dave made a really good point. It's where it's just like the Tiny Toon, there is development, but it's very little.
And it's an adaptation of older Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Like even in the description of the show, it says this is like an adaptation of a new version or generation of Looney Tunes learned from their mentors.
Yeah.
So it like said something in that nature. So like there's not a lot of room for development if you're not like, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, Eric, go ahead.
You said Eric?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Rocket,
already went.
I'm going Rocket Power.
Okay.
Yeah. Right, there's just more development of the stories and stuff.
All right. So Rocket Powers, they're not getting swept. It's 2-1. Memorable moments. Both shows did have memorable moments, but it's just like, okay, do you take from the memorable moments of like, because Rocket Power kind of does feel more relatable, especially to somebody like Shawn who is into extreme sports. Not so much anymore because he has a father and his wife will kill him if he doesn't kill himself first doing all these extreme sports.
I just say I'm old, but that's a good way to explain it too.
Dude, I am 7. Eric and I are both older than you. So if you're old, we're dead.
I have like the inside of my knees are like probably like 60 years old.
Yeah.
Just from hockey.
I feel that. But anyway, so as far as memorable moments, Dave, I'm going to start with you.
I'm gonna go with Rocket Power here. It's more relatable to me. I played around with hockey. I tried skateboarding a little bit and stuff like that.
I could never stay on the board.
Yeah, all I could do was ollie, man. That's all I could pull off. I kind of just rode around and skated with my friends. They were more, adept at being better skaters than me. But I would roll around with them and stuff and try, but I was never any good. But I relate to it more, so I think the moments in it are more relatable. The Tiny Toon Adventures, I feel like, because of Looney Tunes, I already watched what they were giving me. So, like, it wasn't really standoutish to me, like, oh, man, I'm going to remember that. It just didn't give me that.
Fair enough. Eric.
Yep. Rocket Power, it just relates more. There's more moments that you remember, and more stories.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, finish us off in this category.
Yeah, Rocket Power. I just, it's like you said, it's more relatable because it's, kids playing sports at that age, and and then you have like the lesson learning moments as well between the kids and the parents, or just the kids between themselves.
Yeah,
and just a lot more. I mean, the Tiny Toons is. I don't think there's not a lot of learning.
There's not a lot of learning. I mean, yes, they did tackle some serious issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more about them having fun. But yes,
Right.
there were serious issues. Like they did, like and, all the cartoons back in that day, back in those days, did like an anti-drug special or a peer pressure
Right.
special or something like that.
Yeah.
So they did tackle the issues. But Rocket Power, I think, did Eric?
They were more story based. Like they had a better
I hit that
story.
by
Like
accident.
Eric said.
Yeah, that's
Like-
the thing. Is
like
Rocket
the
Power
episode,
just did everything. Rocket Power just did it better than what Tiny Toons could do.
Right, and there's like the episodes like Twister loses his cousin when they go to an amusement park.
Yeah,
And the consistency of doing it, of putting it
Right.
into the show.
And it made sense. Like every episode kind of piggybacked off the last one.
yeah.
Although,
In a sense
yeah.
of, like not like super, not like episodic, but I mean, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
more
Like,
episodic than
but it
Tiny
wasn't
Toons.
like
so.
it didn't like it tied into the last episode, but it wasn't a continuation of the last episode.
Right.
Right.
All right. So we're tied 2-2. So the first battle of the show went all 5. This is going all 5. I kind of figured that this actually was going to go all 5 because this is Tiny Toons. I think it's a lot of people. It is one of the more underrated cartoons of the 90s, going up against one of the more underrated cartoons of the late 90s, early 2000s. Fan base is the category. Whose fan base is bigger? Rocket Power is part of that Nickelodeon fan base. Tiny Toons is part of the Warner Brothers fan base. Decipher that how you will. Eric, you're starting.
This was kind of hard, but I'm going with Tiny Toons. I just think there's more of a fan base based on Bugs Bunny and that fan base into Tiny Toons. There's more characters that are recognizable, and the merchandise sales, into all that.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have a rebuttal to what he just said to where they can go second? Go ahead.
I'm picking Rocket Power. I think if you asked everybody that's into extreme sports today, they're more drawn to probably watching Rocket Power than Tiny Toons. And I don't know if this is a suitable debate, but I think Tiny Toons is it's more memorable because it makes you remember Bugs Bunny and like the Looney Tunes more than them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Rocket Power, if you ask people, "Oh, you remember Rocket Power?" they strictly just remember the show.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing about Tiny. And by the way, I figured since I was going to have the shirt on, I figured this was going to be done in 3. But the thing about Tiny Toons, they rebooted it. There is a show called Tiny Toons University out there. Mm-hmm. So there is there's a fan base that wanted this to come back.
Yeah.
All right. Now
That's
I
fair.
agree with you on, the kids that are into extreme sports, they probably do like Rocket Power more.
Or even like people our age that are, might have grown up on it. Like
you and Dave
Yeah, those who
I grew up on Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get your point.
Yeah. I feel like Rocket Power is.
Dave, it's your turn.
See, I'm going with Tiny Toon Adventures here. I think it has a much stronger and more enduring fan base. I feel like Rocket Power, it's those who grew up with it, and its fan base is less spread. It has a following, but I don't think its following is that of Tiny Toons. It's just Tiny Toons is more widespread. But it's
and that was like another point I was going to make, but then I figured Dave would make it for me.
That it's piggybacked off of a larger franchise.
Yeah, well,
or based off of something, just a different
it's kind of like She-Ra piggybacked off of He-Man. It just the fans from that go to that. I mean, because that's what's new and what's next.
Maybe it was more just driven trying to captivate like a lot younger of an audience.
Well, that's the thing. So the kids that were into extreme sports, they prefer Rocket Power.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like that other percentile that probably, because they prefer more of the wacky, zany adventures of the Tiny Toons.
Like I'm sure my 3-year-old, if I had him watch Tiny Toons, he'd prefer that over Rocket Power because
Until he
Toons
gets
is a goofy show.
to the age where you start teaching him how to play hockey.
Yeah, I'd
and then-
prefer to watch
yeah.
Rocket Power, but I
Yeah.
think Tiny Toons fan base is just
I
enormous.
I had to pick Rocket Power in this one. I had to try.
And you
were staying loyal.
You made a valid point.
Yeah, you did. You did.
You made a valid point. It's just you got outruled or outvoted.
Which is fine because I mean I agree with everything you guys are saying. I mean, Tiny Toons' fan base is bigger, but
it's just. But again,
no disagreement.
It's what people do prefer. Rocket Power has a fan base, and it's not just the Nickelodeon fan base. It's the people that grew up on it. Yeah. I grew up on Tiny Toons, but guess what? If I'm sitting and watching both now, I'm probably going to enjoy Rocket Power more than Tiny Toons because I can find it more relatable. Well, not necessarily relatable to me because I am not athletic whatsoever. I said this past Friday night on the wrestling podcast, like if talking were an athletic sport, I would be world's heavyweight champion. Anything else? No. But the thing is because both shows were Rocket Power was relatable, Tiny Toons was enjoyable.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
All right, so Tiny. Yeah, that's the thing, and you can, by the way, also be a fan of both shows.
Yeah.
This was probably one of the more, closer battles we've had. I mean, we've had a lot of that have gone 3-2.
But one of them.
Yeah, we've had a handful.
But, I do think this is really close.
The Bluey and Paw Patrol match, that was a hard one. With the topics that we got, that was a hard one to get through.
Now, if we would have gotten different categories for this one, would Tiny Toons have beaten Rocket Power?
Depends on that.
It depends. Do you take what category are you replacing?
All right, so let's say we replace
merch with theme song?
Overall enjoyment?
Theme song. I have them overall. Theme song. I would give it to Tiny Toons, but that's just me because I like that. I know how you guys feel. I know how you guys feel about theme songs, but for me, if it's a catchy theme song with catchy words, I like that.
Oh.
What about
Yeah, Tiny Toons. I would have gave the theme song Tiny Toons too.
What about if theme song for Bluey or Paw Patrol?
I would have given it to Paw Patrol.
See, I would have went Bluey. I think Bluey is so catchy to me.
I thought Paw Patrol was catchy.
I thought Paw Patrol was more catchy. Which, by the way, which by the way, the fact now that I'm kind of taking over while Eric goes on his vacation, these episodes are probably going to get longer because there's going to be a lot more. Not necessarily, we're not going to be screaming at one another, but there's going to be a lot more debate because
kind of like when you took over for the Naruto Simpsons one.
Well, yeah. By the way, that episode went that battle went 35 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Right. Me and you were going back and forth on why each show was great in these categories, and we were both bringing.
Well, wasn't it like we were 25 minutes into the show and we were that far into the battles, and then next thing you know, after that one category, it's like an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because it just went that close. All right.
Yeah.
So before this goes too far. All right. Tiny Toons wins at 3-2. We had so Tiny Toons gets 10 points. Rocket Power gets 5. So it's very close. Fairy Tale beats BRAVESTARR 3-1. Ren and Stimpy beats BEAVIS and Butthead 3-1. BLUEY beats Paw Patrol 3-2. This upcoming Saturday on Animated Hour of Power, we are going to have Mighty Ducks the Animated Series versus Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Afro Samurai versus My Hero Academia, Exo Squad versus Galaxy High, and Sonic Saturday AM versus Super Mario Brothers Super Show in the main event. Next Wednesday's Animated Showdown. Bleach versus Denver the Last Dinosaur. Another cartoon that is screwed.
Yeah, I feel bad for that.
Oh yeah. When I did that, I was just like, oh, what did I do? Because Denver was actually another one of my favorites when I was little, but it does not age well.
Yeah, Bleach is one of the considered one of the top 3 of anime.
I'm aware.
Yeah. That one's
I'm aware. It was
death wish for anything that pops up against that show.
Yeah. All right. Dragon Raja versus the Magic School Bus.
Okay.
Life with Louie versus Ed, and Eddie. And the main event, Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a long night next Saturday night when we're doing these shows.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's a couple battles in there.
Yeah. Luckily, Bleach versus Denver the Last Dinosaur is only going to take about 3 minutes.
Yeah, one of them, it's getting steamrolled. I'm calling it now.
I'm going to agree with you. And trust me, I try to take up for the cartoons, but this was one of those where it's just like, I'm just trying to come up with something. But then, once it fully sets in, it's like, oh my God, you did this? It's like, oh, crap.
I think the sleeper battle here is going to be Dragon Raja versus Magic School Bus. I think that's going to be a sleeper battle.
Yeah. Well, because
I like the Magic School Bus.
Oh,
show was fire.
Yeah.
It really is.
The show was fire. I loved watching it during school. Science class, let's throw on the Magic School Bus. Let's get it.
What was the episode I watched? They were in the, your defecation bowels.
Yeah.
And they're just nonchalantly like, oh, where are we? Oh, well, there's only one way out from here. And they're like, no, we're not doing it.
All right. So make sure to like and subscribe to the When Toons Combine YouTube channel. Join the When Toons Combine Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Toons Combine. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. This Friday night on the show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, top 10 wrestling busts. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to Eric's Unscripted Wrestling Show, or Unscripted Sports Show, I'm sorry. The Stabcast with Dangle and Mindy, the Dizzle 97 Gaming Universe. You find Shawn at TCX Reaper on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Wildcard Dave, you can find him on Twitch at TCX Godsend 95. I got to get ready for dinner. Dave's got to get ready for the family thing he's got to do. We probably went. This is one of our longer shows, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad we started early.
Oh, yeah, me too. It'd
That's
be
my
like
idea.
Yeah.
Well, Dave requested it. You just decided to go an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Which I think helped.
Fine with me.
Well, yeah, because we would we'd have to be rushing right now if we were doing.
Yeah, it'd be 7:30. Yeah.
Exactly why I suggested it.
All right. So we will see everybody Saturday night, except for Eric. Eric, enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
And
I'll
we'll
miss
see
you guys.
We'll miss you too. We'll see everybody on Saturday.
Have a good vacation, Eric.
See you, Eric.